The edge of his feather. He dreamt he could fly. He would wait until dark, then leave his apartment through his bedroom window. He discovered the secret through exact breathing. Finding the Earth's pulse, he could set up a force of repulsion by first matching it, then doubling the frequency suddenly at intervals determined by Heisenberg. It was a dream where any kind of pseudoscience or mystical magical jewel can work. He did things like torment the security guard at the mall. Floating in the atrium, he dropped a pop bottle next to the costumed fool. The blue man rushed up to the next level to find no one. This was the way the only flying man in the world used his powers. Leaving the mall, he glided over the parking lot at streetlight level. The dark concealed him. The air was chill but did not touch him. Snow choked the sidewalk. He passed over a young mother wrestling a baby stroller onto a curb. He knew her. She lived in his building. She was out late for the diapers in her bag. Aware of morning, he recalled indistinct images. He felt sure that somewhere a brooding cloud had spurned the brittle desert and discharged itself against the sea. One morning he realized he was that cloud. He had dreamt a structure had risen from the waters to engulf him. The insubstantial filament of his wishes became the apex of a solitaire. It coalesced about him, and he tasted the sea, and he knew that it was full of tears. The new gravity plunged him through waves to breathless places where he was not protected from the cold. The darkness did not conceal him here. The thing he had become flashed, and curious fishes pursued every glint which proceeded from him. Some of the fishes were large enough to swallow him whole. When he couldn't sleep, he went upstairs. His building had a sauna and a whirlpool and a lounge up there. He poked his head into the lounge and caught a whiff of unwashed Trekkies eating nachos. They monitored the security cameras from plastic tang-colored chairs circa 1870. He went out to the observation deck to smoke something, and she was there. And he shared with her and talked about insomnia. She talked about the joy of her mother taking the baby and the anguish of being torn between spending the respite sleeping or dancing. "Let's go dance." He led her to a secret door. "Ever been down here?" "No." "Me neither." They descended a stairwell and found it opened into a tiered expanse. This was the student residence, which faced the next street. They had not realized before that their building was connected with this one. All around them, ranks of colored doors faced out onto a central recreation area one level below. Orange and blue enameled tubular railings monkey-barred the stairs she ran down. And he remained at the railing. She turned out many of the lights as she passed the switches. She removed her robe, kicked off her bunnies, and dove into the pool, then climbed out the other side, slick in bra and panties. He studied the small of her back and its associated brown curves. "You know, I see you," she called out, smoothing her hair. "You see me what?" Without turning, she cast back over her shoulder, smiling. "My bedroom window faces the mall." His hands were busy making himself naked. He no longer stood at the rail. He stood beside the pool. It lay between he and she. The cool reality of the concrete confused him. She unhooked her bra, tilted her hips, and stepped out of her panties. pale fabric glowed moon-like. She caught them with a golden foot, mounted a stair climber, and tested it with a few tentative strokes. "Show me how," she demanded of him, confronted with this unnecessary machine. There were stairways everywhere, but this one took you nowhere. He drifted over the pool towards her, dragging a toe. There was light down there. She drew her hair to one side, exposing the nape of her neck. Her chin was tucked into her collarbone as she watched him approach. "Say that again," he implored from a high place. "Show me how." A question this time. He felt the words humming from her now, a low resonance summoned up from somewhere mellow where her breath was born. Again, and a subtle vibration communicated from her chin to her collarbone, to his chin. The distance grew shorter until she breathed words into him. She arched her back and leaned into his chest as he plucked her from the apparatus by the waist and showed her the room from above.